Hello everybody, I just thought I'd put on a little bit of Hannibal as a practice unseen for you now. This is the year 12s. A couple of hours ago I saw Alan and he was desperately sad and very upset and in fact in tears because he was finding Livy so difficult. So in order to preserve, I suppose, a modicum of dignity for him, I thought that I would put a little bit of Hannibal on there and give you all access to practicing. He actually made a very good point, which is Livy is quite difficult and what's the best thing to do to practice it. So I'm suggesting that your green books, if you remember, contain a number of different prose authors, and there is some Livy focusing on Hannibal. So I thought, well, seeing as you've already got that Livy, why don't I put some of those on the internet and go through them. So if you want to look, it's actually on it's sort of at the start of the bit on Livy, but I've obviously taken this from the internet to make it much more legal. We start off then with in parte operis mihi licet mihi praefere, in parte operis me licet mihi praefare. And I'll just go through this. I'm also going to send you the correct translation for it. It is allowed for me, licet me, literally it is allowed mihi, licet mihi rather, it is allowed for me, or I can, in parte, in this part of my work, it is allowed for me praefare, to declare, so I'm able in this part of my work to declare that me scripturum, as soon as I see a declaring word, I'm looking for an accusative, ba-boom, infinitive, ba-boom. I am able to declare that I am going to write about the greatest war of all, or the war sort of greatest memory, most greatly of all, which was ever waged. So, I can at this point of my work declare that I'm going to write about the most remarkable war, the bellum maxime omnium memorabile. When you're translating it, feel free to obviously look at the notes next to it and take as much or as little help or guidance from these as you wish. So, I declare that I'm going to write about this war, the greatest of all, which was the greatest war which was ever waged, which the Carthaginienses, which the Carthaginians, gesere, waged with the Romano populo, which the Carthaginians, historic infinitive, gesere, which the Carthaginians waged with the Roman people, with Hannibale duce, with Hannibal as their leader. Nam neque validiores opibus. It is all very difficult, isn't it, this sort of bit. For never did civitates, never did states and peoples contulerunt arma, bring arms inter se, amongst themselves, between themselves, more validiores, literally stronger in resources. So never did wealthier nations and peoples wage war against each other, nor fuit, this is difficult, nor neque fuit, nor was there ever his ipsis for they themselves, i.e. for Rome and Carthage, nor was there ever for them themselves more of widium, more of strength, or of power. So literally never did two stronger nations fight each other, but also this was when they were each at their strongest. Et haud ignotas belli. Lots of comparisons here, and we've got Livy sort of, I suppose, striving for the balance, a balanced view of history, as balanced as you're likely to get in the ancient world. Et haud ignotas belli artes inter se sed expertas primo punico conferebant bellos. And they were, I love this actually, they were conferebant, they were bringing together artes, skills of warfare, literally skills of fighting, haud ignotas, not at all unknown, double negative there, litotes, but not at all unknown between one another, but sed expertas, but experienced in the primo punico, we were talking about that today, but experienced in the first Punic War. And adeo, I see adeo, and I see fuit, and I'm looking for a subjunctive to give me a result clause, and there was such a variety of fortune of the war that qui vicerent, those who conquered, were propios periculum, were closer to danger, that there was a closer danger, I suppose, of defeat for those who conquered. That those who conquered were more, so here's your subjunctive perfect, relatively rare perfect form of the subjunctive, which is usually, if you are going to find it, found in the, did I say relative? I meant result clause, if I did say relative clause. Odis etiam prope majoribus, they certarunt, form of certar werunt. They fought, they strove against one another, but we would say they fought. They fought with hatred, majoribus, greater, literally with more by hatred than with viribus. Remember me saying to you how often we see this word vis, V-I-S, meaning strength, not meaning a man. It's one of those words that they throw into unseen's because they know that people will look up the wrong word. So, more with hatred than with strength. With the Romani, subject of absolute here, with the Romans, angry, quad, because they, i.e. the Carthaginians, were bringing, because the victi, with the Romans angry, because the victi, those that were conquered, the having been conquered, perfect passive participle there for victi, with the Romans angry because the conquered were inferent, were bringing arms, were starting the fight, ultro, unprovoked, against the victoribus, against their victors. So with the Romans, indignant, angry, because the conquered were bringing their arms unprovoked against the victors, and with the Carthaginians, because crederent, they believed that victis, that having been conquered, they were imperitatum esse, indirect statement here, they believed themselves to have been ordered about superbe, arrogantly, and avareque, greedily. And the crederent there is going to be subjunctive, because also I suppose that it's either ratio obliqua, or it is going to be because, no, I don't think it is ratio obliqua. I think this is actually because it's a thought process that's going on. Because they believed that having been conquered, they were ordered about arrogantly and greedily. There you go, Alan. I hope that stops all of your fears and anxieties, and everyone else, rather. Alan wasn't really that upset, but I hope this might go some way to helping you with your Virgil. Okay, all the best and have a lovely weekend.